Anyways, right where we left off, he was like the sacrifice is to try to get rid of her alter ego, Elsa. Now, so sorry, it's been a long time since I talked about this movie. She explores a bit of Silent Hill and sees that, and she's her mother and left her to get burnt, and she's the only one that can have that's very unaffected by fire to get rid of the evil. She enters in a random building, and there's like a random birthday cake with a bunny rabbit and roast. I guess that's supposed to be a roast dog from the game. And there's also a deleted scene where she sees her mother in a mirror glass. That's that she's trapped inside. Anyhow, she randomly... That's a room full of mannequins. And one of them are alive. And to cover this scene up, and you don't want to see a woman naked, and she turned into a mannequin. And speaking of the word, there's even one's a creepy spider that takes people's heads and then use them from question. Heather tries to save this random lady, but randomly cuts short and she gets caught anyway. So goodbye, random girl we'll never see again. There's Harry, held captive. They want to sacrifice him and to get rid of the evil. Yep. Even Kwani had to refresh his brain. He tells her assistants to refresh his mind. Or Heather explores more of Silent Hill on a random place when she gets randomly attacked by a monster. Or while she grabs a key to find a hidden room. And she's shot it with a gun. And look at that, a speck of blood on her. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that Vincent explains to use the medallion. And she encounters
Cannot see what
Malcolm McDowell's character as
you have them.
T.
Place it in my hand, and I will
Wolf.
try to help you. Don't be afraid.
That's also based off the game, but he's blind. She gives him the medallion and he turns to a monster. Which I gotta admit is very disturbing. And he puts it inside him and he looks like a grotesque of scarecrow with mere flesh. And she takes it out of his stomach and he gets defeated. Yet burns up. For no apparent reason why. She randomly hits a room and lots of people continue waving their arms out. I'm trying to grab her, while Pyramid Head can easily cut their arms off. Jeez! And to make sure this part 2 will not go any longer, which cut to the point where she saves Vincent from these evil nurses that can only move when there's movement too. They tried to be careful and not get murdered by these nurses as they make their escape. She ends up at the carnival for reals this time. And just like in the opening scene, we found that scary bunny costume that comes alive. And there were these guys that are also finding her. Vincent is on his own to stop Claudia once and for all. She gets pounced by one of them, destroys their outfit, and dies from the infection, which makes no sense that she's unaffected by it. She's trapped in the merry-go-round, and she encounters her evil alter ego, Alisa. Alisa. Yeah. And she defeats her by hugging her. Whatever ends this movie faster, I will not question why that works. She finally shows up and faces Claudia. At the rescue, her father, Aaron, defeats her. Unfortunately, she doesn't fight her like in the game. You know, she gets murdered by the monster called God, which is basically called that in the third game. She shows her true form, the same monster from the opening. Pyramid shows up just in time to fight her. Now I gotta admit, this climax is pretty awesome. While Pyramid fights her, Aaron Vincent saves him. Pyramid defeats her by chopping her head off. The nightmare's over, and they were about to go home and try to find a way to get her mother back somehow.
What's wrong?
I can't leave.
Why?
I'm gonna stay here.
But Dad, we're free. We're safe. For the first time.
I'm gonna find your mother. You saved my life, and I can never repay you. Rose is still trapped here somewhere. I'm gonna find her.
Let me help you.
He tells her, or he'll find her by his own way. And like that, he's gone, and for Heather and Vincent, they go back home where they belong. And look at that, another random cameo character from Silent Hill Origins.
You're lucky I came by. Haven't been this way in a long time. Travis Grady.
Travis gives them a hitch ride, and believe it or not, this is pretty much how the movie ends. They sequel bait this one. And with the bus and the cops is already going based off that other game, Silent Hill Downpour. Wrap your mind around that one. And that was Silent Hill Evolution. I guess see why they don't want to do any more of these. This movie got so many problems. That's here and there. First of all, it feels a bit short at most parts. It feels like it needs to have more scenes. But believe it or not, you might put dislike on this video or not. I actually like this. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Even though my younger self actually liked this movie, this film does have lots of hokey pokey in it. Or shall I say cheesy moments. like the CGI Spider-Man can, what you're watching right now. Well, you can tell the special effects on it look really fake. Except for the nurses that look realistic or puppetry. Most of them are just CGI effects. The music's good at most parts. But if you like Silent Hill, well, you might like to watch the first one a little better. So if I were you, could just watch the first one that's way better than this second movie. All I can say is, just put on the first one. You might actually like it a little better than this movie being a half hour short. It's only like an hour and 35 minutes. But it feels like it's only been on for like nearly an hour and 20 minutes. But to its credit, I do like Pyramid Head. To wrap this video up, I'll end it with him walking during the end credits. So, if those of you are watching this on Halloween time, on October 31st, then happy Halloween to you all. I'll see you guys when I review another horror movie in the near future. Goodbye, everyone, and I give this one a solid 5 out of 10. See you around.